Hey everybody, how's everyone's weekend? I know it's been 2 weeks. So you've got 2 weekends to tell us about tonight. I know last weekend a lot of you went to VDM Fest, which looked pretty cool. I saw a busload of you headed down and some of your videos were interesting and looked lots of fun. So tell us about it. And I know a lot of you guys had a long weekend. We didn't have a long weekend down here, but we didn't go live because we find on long weekends no one's home in time to watch the show. So let us know how everybody went for the weekend and who you saw performing and where they were. Tonight we've got Brook Chivell joining us. He's very soon got a new album coming up and he's going to have a bit of a chat about that. And he's got a single out at the moment that if you haven't heard, you've got to go and hear. So after tonight, you might be able to work out where to go and get that. So we might get started and welcome him into the room. Hi, Beck. How you going? Welcome.
Oh. How you going?
Surprise. just for fun, yeah. He remembered everybody and on time. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, it's not one of my Facebook Lives, so I tried to be on time.
no late notes needed tonight.
No, not by me anyway.
Not by you. I don't know if you can see the comments, but I can pop some of them up as they come along.
Cool, I can't.
No, so I can pop. Can you see them if I do that?
Yes. Hey, Shazza, how you going?
Yes, there's lots of people in the room. Beck, Scott, Shazza, there's lots of people tuning in. So, hi everybody. Pop your comments on and questions and we can throw them on the screen. Let us know. A lot of people went to VDM Fest on the weekend. I hear that you might have gone to that.
I may have. No, I was
may
there.
have.
It was great.
Yeah.
No, I definitely played at VDM. It was awesome. Had a great time. The crowd was great. It was a good time.
Have you recovered?
Oh yeah, I had a pretty chilled one actually. I didn't really drink a lot and just got up there and rocked out and then went and had a hot dog and that was it, really.
No big night.
Nah, I didn't. A few of the regulars were lubricated. Let's use that as terminology.
Well and truly on the way. I've heard some stories over the last couple of days that I don't think people are going to live down for a little while.
No. I think a certain Mr. Cornell may have indulged in a couple of bottles of red as well. Actually, I think it was Stone's ginger wine that he was drinking.
Stone's ginger wine. Wow, that's
old school.
Really old school. And when you're really broke, that's when I'm broke.
I've never had it. I don't like ginger, so it's no good. He's like, you gotta try it, man. It's awesome. And I'm like,
it is nice.
Too much to drink. Nobody should say those words ever.
It's all right. It's nice. One friend I had put it in beer. One of my friends put it in beer once, and it's the first I'd heard of that. But it didn't do too badly. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So there's always a bottle here in the cupboard in case I'm having a bad financial week. Sometimes you just got to do it.
A lot of the old school singers used to drink it. Like I know Angry Anderson swears by it, and Brian Cadd and guys like that kind of were the Stones guys. They love that stuff, but it's pretty old school.
It's very. My mum drinks a lot of that. So there you go. If mum's watching, it's old school. Mum's 60 soon, so I don't think she's watching tonight. I think she's probably forgotten that it's Monday, knowing her. Didn't answer her phone, so she probably forgot. Well, you've got a big few months coming up.
I have, a couple of really big months coming up. So, which is pretty awesome.
Tell us a little bit about the single that you've released recently.
Okay, so I had a song called Fingerprints, went to radio, it'd have to be 2 months ago now, I guess. Maybe a month and a half ago. No, it was probably 2 months ago. And that was the last single. I've also got another one that's going to go out hopefully start of November. So I'm kind of I'm going pretty quick, but I've got a done a song for the PBR. I'm doing 2 of the PBR gigs in November. So I'm doing Adelaide on the 9th of November and Melbourne on the 30th of November. So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to sing. I could just do a couple of my own normal songs or whatever. But I was like, oh, well, let's write a song for it. So I got together with Nat Pearson and the guy that I normally write with, Anthony Emery, and wrote this song called Fearless Rider. So that's going to be the next single. That's the hot tip. And if you want to hear it, tune into my Facebook Live tomorrow night, and I'm going to play it.
Is that going to be?
I'm actually going to play it on a radio thing, so a speaker, so you can actually hear how it goes as opposed to me just singing it.
Just singing it. So will that be on Brooks Buddies or on your page?
I'm going to do it on my page tomorrow night because I may also have a very special guest on as well. Wow. Another person who was on BDM Fest on the weekend.
Okay, there you go. I'm sure that a few of you will probably guess.
A certain person who's been hiding behind a mask quite a bit.
That would be very exciting.
If that gives you any tips.
There's a message from Scott saying it's one of your best.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that.
Bex popped to it. Ginger wine will always bring you undone. So I've heard.
Well, it's better than gin. Gin will just make you sit in the corner and cry, apparently. I've never drunk it. But
never drank gin?
No. Apparently it's the depressants drink. I'm a happy guy. I don't want to drink. I don't want to be sitting under the table, in a ball going.
What's your go-to?
I have a few. If I've got any kind of money, it'll be Opal Near or Black Sambuca and Coke.
Oh, Black Sambuca and Coke. I remember you having that. I haven't tried that before.
Really good. I don't mind Jack Daniels or Wild Turkey or vodka and lemonade. Just depends how I feel.
Oh, I'd go a Royal Swan if I have a choice, but you can't get that up there.
But yeah,
Royal Swan rum.
Rum.
Yeah, Royal Swan rum, but you can only get it on islands. So you can buy it down here.
Yeah.
But you can't buy it. I think you can buy it on Phillip Island, and there's a couple of islands around Australia that you can get it, but you can't buy it on the mainland. So.
Really?
It's really good. I don't know, but it's really good. I don't know, but it's hard to get down here. Sometimes you have to go to a few different places because it sells out, but it is really good. And they do plain one and a spiced as well.
Is it kind of Bundy-ish or like?
No, it's not. It's not. It's similar colour to Bundy, but doesn't have the same taste at all. It doesn't.
Tastes like petrol at all then.
It doesn't give you the hangovers quite as bad as a Bundy, but if you have a full bottle, you do spend a bit of time with it over the toilet occasionally. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. A full bottle of anything pretty much will do that.
Yeah. We did that once, maybe. Might have happened accidentally.
I think we've all done that at some point.
Few times. Few people are probably still doing it from Saturday night, from what I've heard.
Yeah, right. I luckily stayed away from all of that. I had no issues whatsoever.
Last year was a bit different though, wasn't it?
Last year, very different. Very different. Last year was really good fun, to be honest. But it was a different kettle of fish. The after party was a lot different last year.
Yes, bit big. Ooh.
I don't remember what I was drinking. I just know that I was drinking a lot of whatever it was that I was drinking.
A lot. You don't remember what you had?
It was a year ago. I mean, it could have been anything.
Could have been anything, and you probably didn't remember the next day either. Fireball whiskey. Ooh,
nice. Could have been methyl and orange juice for all I know.
Oh, Trudy's just said that she can't wait to hear the new single tomorrow. So Trudy's going to tune in.
Awesome.
Yes. So back to what we were talking about. So your new single that you've got coming out is written for the PDR.
Yep.
How exciting to be on the PBR. Was that something that you thought was coming? That was huge when you announced.
Well, to be honest, they approached me 3 years ago. So
Wow.
before Casey got the gig, they approached me about doing it with they were going to do a tour. They were going to have Jade Holland and I tour with the PBR with my band, and it just they didn't have budget that year, as it turned out, and then Casey obviously had I didn't have new material either, so they kind of wanted someone who had a new album to promote or that kind of thing. So so they went with Casey, and I just kind of turned on the computer one day, and Casey's like, "Oh, I'm doing PBR." I'm like, "Oh, cool."
He was really their second choice.
Well, no, I don't think he was their second choice. He just he was.
Sorry, Casey.
No, he was actually their first choice, obviously, because he was the first one to do it. But Jade Holland had been doing PBR gigs for 5 years.
Yeah.
So
would have been good. It will be good. It will be good in November.
It will be good. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fantastic. You'll have to go live behind the scenes and show everybody what it's like, because it'd be cool. Yeah. It'd be awesome. So before you do that, you've just had Fingerprints come out, and you've got a new single to release, but you've got a lot of festivals coming up as well.
Yeah.
You've got Hometown Festival, which is going to be really interesting. I love the idea of Hometown Fest. And what else have you got coming up?
I've also got a boat cruise with Maddie Cornell on the 16th of November. Oh, you coming
I'm coming up for that. Yes.
Awesome.
So, I might try one of those Sam Brookers and Cokes. Darren and I are coming up.
If you're on Maddie's cruise, then you got to drink mojitos. That's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, I had a few of them in Melbourne when Maddie played in Melbourne. Yes, that was good. They're pretty good. Who's coming? Tell us who's coming on the boat cruise. We're going to fly up on the Friday and come along. So
awesome.
That'll be good.
Yeah, no, that's going to be fun.
That's going to be great. So you've got Hometown Fest. You've got lots. You've got your year's full.
Pretty much, yeah. So, and then also on the boat cruise is Nat Pearson, and the after party Josh Setterfield. So the after party, which you can only get to if you've gone on the boat cruise. So don't think, oh, I'm just gonna rock up to Johnny Ringo's, because you have to have the lanyard. So
okay, that will be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
And I think there's limited tickets too. I think that's getting close to sold out from what I saw today.
So I think there's only about 10 or 12 tickets left. So
wow,
get onto it.
Hurry up, guys. Jump onto it. Otherwise, you'll miss out. And we want to see you there. That's going to be awesome. That'll be cool. And then you're heading to Tamworth?
Not 100% sure yet. So
really? Still not sure?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. There's a gig that is possibly happening. I haven't chased any gigs of my own, and to be honest, I wasn't going. I was just not going to go. And then a mate of mine rang up and said, "Oh, are you interested in doing support?" Nat and I, for this person, I'm being cryptic on purpose. So we're just waiting to see what happens there. If that happens, then I'll go, just probably down for the day. And also, I've also nominated a song for one of the categories in the Golden Guitars this year. So I'm not nominated, but you have to wait and see what happens. So if I do end up getting into the final nominees, then I'll go down for the Golden Guitars.
Yeah, that will be fantastic. Yeah. Will be excellent to see. Hopefully you get there. Be amazing. Fingers crossed. Yes. So
I've
tell us.
I've never been nominated for anything ever, so it'd be nice.
Wow. It will be awesome. When do we find out? What's the dates? I know the entries are closed. They must be coming up soonish.
I don't know. To be
We
honest,
must be able to vote soon. Yeah. I don't know. Let us know if anyone knows when we'll find out for the Golden Guitar nominations. No, I'm not sure. I can't remember what it was last year. Yeah. So. Yeah, which isn't far away. It's not far away.
No, it's not.
So tell us a bit about the whole album that you've got coming out, because this will be pretty exciting for you. You haven't had an album like this.
It's been a while.
So,
It's been a while since I've released an album. So basically, it's going to have all of the singles that I've released since the first album, plus I think there's 6 new songs. So,
wow.
I think I've released 5 singles since then.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll have Till It's Gone, Hot Country Girl, Out of My Song, Wonder What You Kiss Like, Fingerprints.
Yep.
If I'm missing one. Plus it'll have another, actually, if it's 5, there'll be another 7 songs. There's 12 songs on the album, so.
Okay, that'll be fantastic. That's very exciting. So people will be able to pre-order that through all the usual places.
So it'll be released officially on the 30th of November-ish, pretty close to that. But I'll also be doing a pre-sale through my page and all that kind of stuff beforehand. So I'll probably have the pre-sale start towards the start of November. So hopefully I'll have it ready for the first PBR. So I'll have it on sale at the first PBR, and then, you know, through Brooks Buddies and my page and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Excellent. No, that was good. Now, for those that aren't in Brooks Buddies, how can people do that? Can they still join Brooks Buddies? Is that still open to?
They can. So basically, Brooks Buddies is for people, my support crew. So it's for people that I know that it's not just to have numbers. I don't care if there's 50 people in there or 10 people in there or 500 people in there, but it's one of those things where, you know, if I release an album, I know those guys will buy a copy. You know, it's that kind of thing. So they get exclusive stuff. So, you know, I don't always go Facebook Live on my normal music page like I used to. Sometimes I do it in Brooks Buddies, so that it's just exclusive to people that are actually, you know, supportive of me, as opposed to me just giving away stuff for, you know, to everybody. It's just, I don't know, it's difficult these days because you need a crew.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
And to be honest, at the moment, there's probably too many people in the group, because, you know, if I put something up and, you know, I'm not getting responses. So actually, the other day I was like, okay, so when the album comes out, if you don't buy a copy, you're going to be deleted from the group. Because it's for those people. It's for those people. It's for the people that are supportive. Like I've got another page that I post content on and all that kind of stuff, and that's for, you know, casual people who kind of want to know what's going on with Brook Chivell. But Brooks Buddies is for Brooks Buddies. It's for my actual mates.
For your supporters, your friends, and your 100%. Strong supporters. There we go. Loves being it, and it loves being a part of it.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's
it is fun.
That actually want to be a part of it, not just for it's an opt-in kind of thing. It's, and I get a say in who's in it as well, because it's just, you know, it's for the crew, it's for the,
and you can relax a bit and say what you want to say and just have fun.
Yeah. Plus, you know, it's about giving back as well. It's about, you know, if people do go and spend $20 on the album or hats and, you know, coolers, and because there's people that I know that, you know, if I do a new t-shirt or a hat or something, people will buy it because they want to support me and because they want whatever my new thing is. Like they want that. So that's really cool to me. And and those people deserve to get extra, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And it's really cool because, you know, you as a result of being part of that, I know we've made a lot of friends from just meeting people in Brooks Buddies and the Knapback, and I've met so many people being part of those groups. So it's been lots of fun.
Yeah, it's that's great, that stuff. So like at Groundwater, she did a catch up, or we did a catch up with, you know, Brooks Buddies and the Knapback kind of thing. It's cool. Like that's what it's about. It's about having exclusive things and giving exclusive access to, you know, our people. It's just our people.
Yep, it's very fun, lots of fun. So if you want to support Brook and always be behind him, head across and
see if it's front of me.
Right in front of you, yeah, true. Don't always expect it to be at 6:45. Not always.
It might be at 7 o'clock. It might
Or
be at
6:48.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, it surprises you. It's like this little surprise of what time will it be tonight. Sometimes you fall asleep and you miss it, but you know.
I haven't missed one. I haven't not done one at all.
No.
Even last week, I still went live. That was, I mean, I was absolutely wrecked. The night before, I literally didn't sleep. I don't know what happened. I just didn't get it. And then I went and worked 10 hours and was like, no. So, and I fell asleep, and Nat was nice enough to put my videos up so that I could, have extra sleep.
That was really good, though. I only saw a little bit of it because I was at work, but it was really good. I thought you did a really good job. It made it fun, something different.
Yeah,
now
every week.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. Now, before we keep getting off track, but I wanted to talk about Fingerprints and the song and how it's been written and tell us a bit about the story behind some of the songs that you've got coming up.
Okay, so Fingerprints started lyrically was started by my mate Anthony. He was on the way to a gig one night in Shepparton, of all places, and you've probably never been to Shepparton, but on the way to Shepparton, when you're driving along the Goulburn Highway, there's this row of trees that are just spaced probably, I don't know, maybe 5 meters apart, maybe a bit less, maybe like 3, probably 5. And they just cast long shadows across the road. And when you're driving, it's kind of like driving along the side of a picket fence with a light shining through, or with a torch shining through. And he just pulled over because it was moving. And he wrote the first line, which is, "You leave your fingerprints wherever you go, and if you stand real still in the evening sun, you'll cast your forever shadow." And that's what he brought in.
Yeah.
And I already had some of the music, so he brought that in, and we just started working on it from there. And in our writing, I don't know how deep you get into this, but when we write, Anthony has a habit of being very ethereal. Like he's not very, country is very like, the car was green, the grass was green, the water was blue, and it's very specific. And he's very ethereal. So after he came in with that first line, I'm like, that's really cool. I really thought those first 2 lines. I'm like, that's awesome. Now we need to make it specific because it's not at the moment. So our writing's usually about me pulling him back to something specific. That's why the second verse is, that old green car that I used to drive. I did have an old green car, so that's where it came from. Yeah. But that's, I mean, that was kind of how it went musically. And then another friend of ours, or the guitar player that was in the Brook Chivell band, because that song was written way back then, and he came in on the last session that we did on the writing, and he came up with the last line of the chorus, "The past and the future of me." I mean, he came out with other stuff as well, but that was, just like, we need something to be the big thing at the end of the chorus. And like, even the other night at Bilo, I just, one of the choruses, I did the stop and let everybody sing it. And to my surprise, people actually did sing it. Which is always really nice when you go, all right, we're going to do, I didn't even tell them it was going to be crowd participation. I just went, and I sang. So that was kind of cool.
That's cool. That would feel awesome on stage, having someone sing your song back. Yeah.
It really does. That's, I mean, I don't think there's anything better in the world than that. It's just one of my absolute favorite things in the whole world. Oh, whose idea was the talk box? Mine.
Yours?
I didn't play it. Paul played that one, but back in the day when I was doing the cover band stuff, I used the talk box for "Living on a Prayer," "Generator" by Foo Fighters, and I think that was about it. But the cover band that I was in was like, so what we're going to do is we just want you to go up to the mic, and we're going to do "Living on a Prayer." They're like, we just want you to go up to the mic and go, "Ooh, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. but I will get a talk box. So
Yeah.
I got a talk box. Well, actually, I built a talk box because I couldn't afford it because they're really expensive. They're like $400 or something. Well, even back, back then they were about $400, and I'm like, it's for 2 songs. And really, all it is way too technical for this format. But it's basically just a speaker. So instead of the sound running to your amp, your guitar amp, it runs out to a little speaker driver on the floor and up through a hose into your mouth, and then you just modulate it with your mouth. So that what you're playing on the guitar is going into this little speaker thing into your mouth, and you just move your mouth around and it makes the noises. Or it because the noise is actually going up the tube into your mouth, and you're just like I can't think of an example, but like if you've got headphones and you put your hand over the headphones and you can kind of hit that's basically what happens. Yeah.
Okay. Very talented. But
sorry, that was really way too
very technical. That was very technical. I think Scott's very happy with your answer. I'm sure he is. Prue says hi. She's joined. Are you late, Prue? Or is it just late coming through with your comments? Do you need a note?
I think Prue's probably just gone, Brooke will be late.
It's just Brooke will be late, yeah. I should have had that on the ad. He might be on time tonight.
Brooke's on the show. He might be late.
He might be late, yeah.
That should be
not exactly sure. It's around this time.
I should name the album that.
Might be late.
He might be late.
He might be late.
Well, I just found out, actually, because the album, I don't know, like, because it hasn't been set in stone yet, but the album was going to be called Fingerprints. And I've just found out that Rod McCormack released an album 2 weeks ago called Fingerprints. What the hell? Like,
your idea was up there first.
I wrote that song in 2012. So 7 years ago.
I think he needs to recall it. You were there first.
Well, he's definitely not going to do that. But I don't know if I don't know. Is it uncool if I still call it Fingerprints, even though?
What? Well, have you got any other ideas of what you would name it?
Maybe you'll be late.
I'll be late. Might be late.
No, well, is it? I mean, it could be that's what we are, but I don't know.
You've kind of already released the single. I don't know. Give us some ideas. What do you guys think it should be called? Prue said, "I like the title. Might be late." That might be a song for him to write. He can have that start of all these Brooks Buddy lives.
So I was listening to Adam Brand today, and one of his songs called "I Did What" came on, and it reminded me of like literally the week that song was released onto CMC. The week before that, Anthony and I had a writing session. We used to write every single Tuesday night, and we wrote this song called "The Party of the Year." Like, it was right around that time. It was before I had actually heard "I Did What," and basically the premise was that we went to the Golden Guitars, got wasted, did a whole bunch of stuff, and didn't remember any of it. That was the premise of the song. And literally, within the next couple of weeks, I heard "I Did What." I went, "Oh,
that's my song." Another one. Is late pass for Prue, Nick, or is that for your title? Late pass.
I feel like he's saying that should be the name of the album.
The album, I think, is where he's heading with that. Late pass. So you did Fingerprints so long ago. Why is it taking you this long to record it? Is it didn't feel like the right time? What's your reason for leaving it? Because you obviously released other songs before.
Well, a lot of those songs were written a long time ago as well. So it's just like I've had a backlog of songs that I thought were really good songs, and I just have been going through the process of, okay, well, I've got a little bit of money, so I'll go into the studio and record this one or whatever it is. But like, for example, the drum track because I recorded drums for some of these songs in 2012. So the Fingerprints drums were recorded in 2012.
Wow. Okay.
So it's just that it's 100% a money thing. It's just it's so expensive, and the guy that I record with is amazing, and the way that he makes the song sound is amazing, but it's expensive. It is.
Yeah.
And I don't want to release, not that there's not other great people out there, obviously, but I just don't want to release subpar product. So
and
I want people to hear my songs and go, oh, that's a Brook Chivell song. It sounds amazing because took the time to make it sound that way.
That's really good. Prue said, "Better late than never" for the album title.
I'm pretty sure that's been I feel like that's been an album.
Been done before. We'll have to Google that. Better late than never. Google that one.
Google knows everything.
That's what Google's my friend.
You never have an argument about remember that guy, that player from Collingwood that kicked it, whatever, and like, Dave Johnson. And they're like, it wasn't Dave Johnson.
That's not his name.
That's
Google
it. And now it's like, okay, well,
we'll fix Johnson. This problem. Yeah.
I know, right?
The arguments aren't the same as they used to be, are they?
They're really not. Like, me and my mates would sit around for hours arguing about something, and now it's like literally
minutes. Now we've got to think of another argument.
I know,
now right? That argument's run its course. We have to think of another one.
You almost have to say, listen, no phones, because let's have some fun with this argument thing.
Put your phone away. If you really want to fight, put your phone away.
Exactly.
So have you got a film clip coming out soon? And have you decided to do any film clips with the new album or the new songs releasing?
So they're not for Fingerprints. For Fingerprints, it was I did a lyric video that went up on my Facebook page and onto YouTube and that kind of stuff. But which is because of what the song's about. The song's about things that happened in the past make you who you are now. So I thought, what better to do than actually cut up bits of my old videos and put them into the new video. So I was initially going to do that as an idea and do pay to have a proper video done and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, video is a difficult one because outlet wise, there's YouTube, CMC, Facebook, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, why am I going to spend $4,000 or whatever on a video, and that's my outlet? So it's tough at the moment because some of these things, there's, I might release a video and it might get played on CMC 15 times, which is probably going to earn me about $4, and I've spent $3,000 or $4,000 on it. There has to be some kind of return on these things.
Absolutely, it's a business.
Yeah, well, it's a business that doesn't return a lot of money sometimes. But
no. This is Scott's idea for a album.
The science behind software. If it was an album like what's his name? What's that guy from the 70s? Scott will know probably. There's a guy in the 70s, a blonde guy. Oh, baby, I love your way. That guy. He had talkbox and everything. Like, it was his whole album is just covered in talkbox. I can't think of the guy's name.
I'm out.
You're too young.
It wasn't Australian country. I'm out. I don't know it. Scott, do you know? He's going to Google it. You should just Google. He's going to Google it. We're not doing good without the phone thing, are we?
I just can't think of his name.
He's going to think about later and he'll pop it in the comments. I can't believe we've already taken 34 minutes. I'm sorry, we've taken up most of your night.
I normally do these things by myself. It's so much fun to have someone talk to.
So good, isn't it? I actually watch your show and think that. I think, how does he do it? Because I would struggle with that.
I can yab on for a long time by myself. So imagine what it's like when there's other people there.
Yeah. That's just crazy. I don't envy what you do every Tuesday night. I actually watched that thinking, I'm glad it's not me. I couldn't do it. And yet I talk to myself all the time because I live alone and my cats actually think I'm crazy. So here we go. June is
Peter Frampton for the win.
June, you've won.
I don't know what you've won, but well played.
we can send you a stubby holder. we can do that. Well, we better keep going. But I was thinking if you would like to maybe rejoin us when you've got your album or the pre-order, so that we can have a bit of a chat closer to and think about pre-orders, that would be amazing.
Sure. Awesome, that'd be great.
Nick, don't no. It's true. I do. I talk a lot, but I couldn't sit there to a screen and just talk to the screen, because you see your own face looking back at you, and it's really freaky. I'm not a big fan of my own face.
When I very first started doing the Facebook Lives, I think I started 2.5 years ago. I started doing it, and I remember this one night I had someone tune in, and she was going me about like looking at myself on the screen. I'm like, I'm not like staring at myself.
Going, oh yeah.
I'm reading the comments.
Yeah.
Like the comments are there. It was because Facebook Live was so new at the time that people didn't really know what was going on. She's like, you just up yourself. Yeah. I can tell you just look at yourself on the screen. I'm like,
you can't. No. The face is on the side of the screen, and you've got comments in front of you. Like,
yeah. So most of the time, I mean, rather than looking at myself over here, I'm looking over here.
Comments over here. Yeah.
Comments.
Yeah.
But I can't see any comments tonight, so it's kind of
which is cool. That's the only downside to this. I can send you a message, but people would actually see me typing as I did it. So I don't know what that feature's meant to be for. It's like we're just talking behind the scenes here and going live. I don't understand that feature. Haven't nailed that yet.
It could be like, oh, do you mind if I ask you? You know,
like but I'd accidentally say it. I'd start typing and go, do you mind if I ask you this? Oh. Hope you don't.
Because now I have to.
Yeah, that's what the sort of thing that would happen to me. Oh dear. I can't read all the comments. Wow, I thought I had technical issues. She beats me in. Well, Brooke, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have taken you for well over what we normally do, but it's been fun.
Really? How long do you normally go for?
Half an hour. Yeah, we could go for a record, but you got to beat the Viper Creek band. They were 48.
Are they on?
No, they were 48 minutes. So you got 10 to go, like, to beat their record.
I've talked to myself for more than 45 minutes every single Tuesday. I could easily do 45 upside down.
I was talking to Damo from the Viper Creek band, and we actually forgot at the end that we were live, that we were just talking. And then I'm like, oh, we should end this. There are people watching us.
Well, that's to be honest, like this whole being interviewed thing, like we're all just normal dudes. Like the guys that have been in doing it for a really long time, you know, they've got it down. Like, you know, you watch a brand new interview or something, and having it down, I think, is having a good chat. Yep. The only time I ever feel like I've done a bad interview is when they just sat there with a bunch of questions and there was no interaction.
Yeah.
The worst radio interview I ever did was on Saturday Night Country, not with Felicity Urquhart, but it was with one of the other hosts, and she literally read a list of questions, 5 questions, and that was the interview. Like there was no real interaction, and it was just. And I got off the phone and went, "Oh God,
that was awful."
It's like one of the highlights of my career. Like I'd never done Saturday Night Country. I'd listened to it for years.
I'd have been excited to do that. Yeah.
I was just like, oh, it's one of my absolute goals is to get on Saturday Night Country. And it was just, the interview was horrible. I felt awkward. I think the interviewer was awkward because it wasn't really her style of music either. So it was like,
Yuck. Oh, do you think that was her nerves or the person's nerves?
Not at all.
No, it was just.
I think it was just not her style of music. So
yeah, didn't know it. Didn't want to know it.
Maybe I don't know if didn't want to know it, but just probably no time to know it. More to the point. So
see,
like
I think
if you Saturday Night Country, if you listen to Saturday Night Country now, which we don't have it on the Gold Coast, they don't play it on. They don't play. You have to stream it.
Yep.
On the app. So, which I'm usually on the way home from a gig and I forget, but yeah, it is kind of alt country biased, I guess. Not that that's a bad thing.
No,
you know,
it's
Kicks is not. So
no. I
tend
to listen to Kicks a lot.
And yeah, it's one of those things. All the country, because country's such a wide genre that everyone needs to get airplay somewhere.
Yeah,
and it's good. Like I like old country as well, so I listen to it when I can.
Yeah. But did you listen to that when you were younger?
Yeah,
you did. So you've grown up doing.
Not as a kid, but once I started driving, once I started gigging, on the way home from gigs, it was like I didn't really like. The good thing about Saturday Night Country is there's a lot of interviews and stuff, and when I finish the gig, I usually don't want to listen to music. I kind of want to listen to some talk back of some description. So that's what either that or silence, really. They're the two things I do on the way home from a gig. So these days I'll listen to a podcast or like ABC radio or something like that.
Wow. Okay. That's different.
It's funny. When I did Star Maker a few years ago, I did an interview on 3AW in Melbourne. And I was so excited. It was like the amount of time, because my mum used to listen to 3AW when I was a kid, and it's like I mean, Edwina from more Esme from wherever, from Belgrave, would ring up and say, I had the grandkids over. But I mean, I used to listen on the way home from gigs at I had this one particular gig that I used to get home at about 8 o'clock in the morning. Used to finish at 5, and then it was pack up and then a 2-hour drive home. And I used to listen to Buy, Swap or Sell every single Sunday morning. And I actually did the interview that I did on 3RW was with Scott that used to do Buy, Swap or Sell. And I said to him before we went out, I'm like, dude, I'm so awestruck right now. He goes, why? And I'm like, because you used to do Buy, Swap or Sell, man. I used to listen to that show every week. Every single week.
Now, these are goals that you can meet if you want to go down the country music path. These are your goals you can reach.
You never know where you're going to end up. Well, I mean, funnily enough, I've actually met, there's a whole bunch of things on my bucket list that, I just never thought that, I'd have a song on the radio. I never thought that would happen. I never thought that I'd have a song. I never thought I'd be on TV. There's a whole bunch of different things that have happened. I never thought that I'd get to play at the Melbourne Entertainment Centre, and I am in 2 months' time or month and a half time. Yeah. So these are all things that are on my bucket list that I've
ticking
got to tick off. It's
fantastic.
I mean, I'm so blessed. I'm broke, but I'm so blessed with the things that I've been able to do. And I'm just a normal dude. I'm a normal kid from Tullamarine. I grew up in Tullamarine. I'm just a normal kid.
And that's the thing. I think that's why music in Australia is so cool, because we get to see that side of all of you. We go to a gig and people get to know each other, and we realise that people on the stage are just normal people, and if anyone wants to do it, they can get out there and give it a go, and it's welcomed.
It's definitely, the country music community really is a country music community. It's just...
Yeah, it really is. Annette's heading off. She said to say goodbye.
Oh, bye, Annette. Talk too much.
It's really cool. Have we got there? You've got 4 minutes and you're at the goal. We're going to get there. This is another bucket list ticking off. Breaking record. We do this. The country kickback record. This will be in our record breaking.
Yeah. Just because I want to beat Damo.
Yeah. Damo, we just were literally just sitting there talking, and then we're like, oh, whoops. If anyone's watching, we don't know, but we were talking, so we were happy.
The best interviews are that. Honestly, they're
you do.
a good chat.
Speaking of what you were saying, how about country music and how it's that when you did that interview, people that old, that's not country, that's the modern stuff. Are you thinking that do you feel that country barrier is starting to break with that whole? Because I feel like it might be starting to get there slowly.
I feel like there's definitely still that camp of people that are like, that's not country.
Yeah.
But on the other side, which is more like, that's a thing, and that's I feel like, okay, let's get a little bit deeper here. I feel like the country music community has been its own biggest enemy, because there's been that that's not country, that's not country fight going on within the community.
Yeah.
Instead of going, hey, let's embrace all this stuff because it's good, it's really good music, and it falls under the country umbrella. And the problem is that because we couldn't get our stuff together, people on the outside, which is more of an issue, like if it's not so much in Brizzy, but when I was living in Melbourne, I'd say, oh yeah, I play music. People are like, oh yeah, awesome, that's awesome. What kind? I go, country. They go, country? Yeah. What? Like Slim Dusty? You kidding?
Yeah,
that's like, no,
yeah. Not like
Slim Dusty. Like Slim Dusty, legend, awesome, amazing. That's not what I do. And then they'd hear my album. The amount of people who would, mates would go, as a support thing, they'd buy a copy of my album, and they come back 2 days later and go, I don't like country music, but I love what you do. I'm like, that's country music.
Then you like country music.
100%.
That's right.
So often that happens.
I think it's something growing up down here and growing up being a fan of country music, and the only one at school that was a fan of country music. My mum used to say to me, well, I'll buy these albums for you that everyone's listening to and you can learn them. And my thing was, no, I don't want friends. I don't want to do that, because I loved country music and that was me. It was me inside out. So growing up, having that fight for so long, and now I go to a show and I see there's people that I went to school with you and you didn't like country music, but this is country. Do you realize you're at a country music show? People don't understand. So it's until they actually hear it and are told that it's country music.
I think it's not necessarily these days, it's not necessarily about it being whatever genre it is, because when we were kids, there was a record store and you went into the record store and there was aisles. There's no aisles anymore.
Yeah.
There's Spotify. You just go, that's cool. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just either good music or it's either music that appeals to you or it's not.
No, it doesn't.
The amount of people that I remember when that Lady Antebellum song "Need You Now" went big, and people were like, I don't like country music, and you're like, because it was on the radio, do you like this song?
Played,
and they're like, I do. This is a cool song. I'm like, this is a country song. No, it's not. I'm like, yes, it totally is.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Where do you find these guys? Yeah, that's right. What did Bruce? I haven't read a post from you. I haven't been paid for gigs far back as New Year's Eve. Oh, that's crazy. That is as good as theft. That is.
Well,
you wouldn't.
It's no different than not paying your builder or not paying your.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay my power bill. Well, they're going to shut it off if I don't. So
Yeah, it's like if you went to the shop and said, "Hey, can I borrow this camera?" Oh, by the way, I'm never going to pay for it.
I'm not actually going to pay you, but I'll owe you. If I.
It's kind of the same as people that pirate music. Really, that is theft. Like that. People don't know how much albums cost until they've done one. They don't really know.
Right.
They just go, oh, Metallica are loaded. They don't need my $30.
They don't understand.
When everyone goes, Metallica doesn't need my $30, and instead of selling, look at the number of the year that Adele album came out, was it called 23 or 20 something, whatever it was. She was the only person that sold over that had a platinum record that year, and Taylor Swift doesn't sell platinum albums anymore. Like that's how bad it is. Like
in
Australia,
exactly.
The amount of people that are actually selling enough units to it just doesn't happen in Australia anymore.
No, I don't know if you can hear that. That's my cat screaming because I haven't let her in the room. She's just come up and screaming. I'm sorry. I can hear. She's very old.
Well, she's entitled to. She's like your granny sitting in the chair in the corner going, "Shut up."
Yeah, shut up. Why aren't you in bed? I'm cold. Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
She's been sick this week. How's Jock? Is Jock okay?
Jock's good.
He's good now?
He's fine. Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to tell you what the problem was. Everybody I've told says, too much information.
I'm a nurse. It won't worry me.
Needless to say, I'm not going to go there. Doesn't matter. He said the runs.
That's right, Prue. She's saying I'm a cruel person. That's what my cat is. But she vomited on me this morning, so she can stay out there for a little bit longer. So my niece stayed for the first time. She's 11 years old, and she stayed the night last week for the first time. She was so excited, and she stayed the night in. She slept. She wanted to sleep in the big queen bed in one of my spare bedrooms, and she didn't want the bunk, and she didn't want to sleep with me. She wanted the big bed so she could spread out. Well, my 16-year-old cat, who doesn't sleep next to anybody but me, and the other cat who sleeps in my arms and she sleeps behind my legs, decided she wanted to sleep with my niece, so she didn't get spread out. She curled right next to her, and she couldn't spread out. And then she came back to me because she was obviously feeling sick because I've had her sick this week. Threw up on me, and then went back to bed with my niece.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's what you do. Thanks,
Mum.
Yeah, 16 years of love for her to do that and then go back to Caitlin. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Here's a present.
Yeah. This is why you shouldn't have fed me so late. Yeah. See you later. I don't want to sleep in here. It's yuck.
Yeah. Someone spewed in here. Did you see that?
Go, I'm out. That's what she did. So, yeah, so much love in my household. So much love. She's 16 years. She's doing all right.
Well, when you've got a dog, there's every chance they're going to bring you a bird or something, drop it in at your feet, go, "Hey, Dad, present. Look what I got for you."
Thank you. How do you
you're like, "Oh, dude, that's awesome."
Yeah, that's so lovely. And yet they're really being so nice. Yeah, I'm petrified of snakes, and I had one that used to bring snakes home, and I am beyond frightened of them. And she used to bring them into my house because she'd killed them and caught them. Now, all Tasmanian snakes are poisonous, within the top 10 most poisonous in the world. There's no non-poisonous snake down here. So,
really? So you've got Australia, which has mainland Australia has some poisonous snakes, and Tassie has only poisonous snakes.
Only poisonous snakes. We only have 3 kinds of snakes, and they're all poisonous.
Isn't it weird? Like Australia, New Zealand, and Tasmania are all at some point in time we're connected.
Yes.
And no snakes.
No snakes. That's my ideal.
Why did we get them?
Why do we have to have them? That's right. Why can't we buy like New Zealand? No snakes, no poisonous spiders.
That's it.
And yet, what happened to that? There must have been something wrong with those parts of the land that the animals didn't like.
I reckon because they were easy to catch, I reckon they ate them all.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Who knows?
But I don't know. But there's lots of snakes down here. I'm not a person at all.
I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll take a look at it for you.
Yeah. See what we can find. Yes, I'm Mum. That's right, Eric. I'm Mum.
Correct, Eric.
Well, we have just done a record of 54 minutes and 11 seconds. We have broken the record. So, Noma says she loves Brooke.
Oh.
Noma, are you back in Tassie? Because I know you went up for Gympie. Are you back? And Bree said she's moving to New Zealand if there are no snakes. There really aren't any snakes there, Bree. There's no snakes. And I think the most poisonous spider they have is the redback. It's true.
Ask all the guys that went to Bilo on the weekend. On the road, I don't know if you drove up through Gladstone and then turned inland, but I drove from Gladstone to Bilo, and there was a snake that would have literally been as wide. I'm just getting my hands in the shot. As wide as the whole road, but it was curled up in a ball beside the road. It was insanely large. I could, as I was driving past, I didn't see it had Sonic in the car. And he goes, "Did you see that snake?" I'm like, "No." And I could see it in the rearview mirror, like from 30 meters, 40,
my
50 meters.
God.
It was huge.
No.
I don't
Oh.
No,
No.
there actually are no snakes in New Zealand.
None. You can go bushwalking. It's perfect.
They've got
None.
a lot of possums though.
We don't get snakes like you guys do, as in size-wise down here either. Ours don't get to that big, and I didn't understand how big they used to get. And I was 18, so it was a long time ago. I went to Gympie for the first time, and my friend and I, we went up there, and we were there in Brisbane and Gympie for a week, and we took a tent. I don't know why, because we didn't actually sleep at all. And it was just sort of a waste of time taking this tent. Well, one day we were going back to the tent to get changed, and we walked out of the gates to go back to our camp, and the security fella said, "I can't let you go at the moment. There's an 8-foot snake out there that we're having removed." And I'd had a few drinks, and I'm terrified of snakes, so I was obviously calm enough to hear what he said. And then it took 2 days when we were on the plane, because I was so tired and so drunk, that I got on the plane and I realised 8 feet! It was an 8-foot snake, and it could have got to our tent and in our clothes. It's 8 feet. That's huge.
Yep. It's big.
I did. I did. That you're right. That was nearly 2 years ago, Nick. I was driving back from Steve Irwin. I drove up to Steve Irwin, the Australian Zoo. And actually, I took Nick's car. Sent him a message halfway there. "Do you mind if I take your car to the Australia Zoo?" And he said he didn't mind, and I was halfway there. I just didn't tell him. So I'm not really sure what I'd have done if he minded. I just would have pretended I didn't see the message. But I did. I took his car up, and I went to the Australia Zoo. And when I was coming back, there was this had shapes on it, and they were like. That was huge. It went across the road so far that I couldn't see the ends of the snake. It was so big and so fat, and I had to go over it because there was no option. And I was really quite freaked out. It was huge, and it had shapes on it. Whatever it was quite an unusual, horrible thing. Ugh.
You got to be careful running over snakes, because if they get caught up in,
I know. There have been times that I've driven until I could find someone to check my car because I wasn't getting out. Somebody look underneath. I know that I drove over it and I'm not getting out.
I remember years and years ago, I dated this girl who was arachnophobic. And we got into a car, like we'd been to the video shop. That's how long ago it was. We went to a horror video, and she had a little Toyota Corolla, like one from the 70s. And she got into the car. I got into the passenger side. We put our seatbelts on. She put it in reverse, looked over her shoulder, put it back into park, got out of the car, and got out and just was standing beside the car, squealing like this. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, there's a spider. There's a spider on the car." And I'm like, "What? In the car or on the car?" And there was a huntsman. There was like in Melbourne, the huntsman's really, really slowly. In Queensland, they run. But in Melbourne, like you could have a huntsman in your house and, it'll start living on one side of your roof and die by the time it gets to the other side of the roof. They're really slow moving. Anyway, she's like, get rid of it. So I got out of the car. And this girl's a nurse, I'll have you know. And I'll have you know she was a nurse. I got out and I had one of those, remember in the old days, Blockbuster Video used to have magazines, just letting you know about the movies and stuff. So I had one of those and I'm like, I'm not going to touch the thing. So I just got out and flicked it off the window. It was on the outside, on the passenger window. So I flicked it off, and I get back in the car, and she says, "You need to throw the magazine away." I'm like, "Why?" And she goes, "It might have spider poison on it." I'm like, "You're a nurse. You should know better." It was. That's like saying that Daddy Longlegs is gonna eat me. Like it's no.
It doesn't work like that. No.
It doesn't. So I didn't throw it away. Then we had a massive fight, and then she was no longer my girlfriend. No, I'm kidding.
No. Nick said you could tell her to get out of your song.
Different girl, but yeah.
Same thing, yeah.
That was actually that song's. There's a line in that song that says, "A quarter of you are one of my favorite people," which Anthony actually wrote that line, and that wasn't. We weren't even thinking about writing the song. That was just a line that he goes. I'm not going to say the girl's name, but he said, "That girl is a quarter of that girl." Actually, he said a third at the time. He goes, "A third of that girl is one of my absolute favorite people, and the other 2/3 of her I can't stand." I'm like. That's going in the song.
Go. I like that. I actually really like that.
We put that in the song, not out of the song.
It didn't go out of the song.
No.
In the track Cab, I'm sorry. I can protect so many people and will put myself in danger for anything. But if there's a snake, I'd have left the child and gone. That'd be my line. Fend for yourself. I'm out of here. I'm gone. No way. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid of them. I have a healthy respect. I remember mowing the front lawn at my old place up here, and I'm like, gee, that's a big worm. No, that's not a worm.
On your front lawn. Oh.
Yeah, it was a baby snake. I mean, it was only half a baby snake because I just mowed it, unfortunately. But a little black one about, I don't know, about that long.
Baby, where's the mum and dad?
But there's snakes. I mean, the bigger problem up here is toads. Oh my god, those things are everywhere.
And these are thingies, the funny looking lizards that you get up there. We don't get them here.
No, lizards don't
they're
hurt
everywhere.
anybody.
Not a fan.
Lizards don't hurt anybody. We've done it. We've cracked the hour.
We've cracked the hour. We have. Sorry, guys. You guys have stuck with us the whole hour while we've just been dribbling on about snakes and all sorts of things non-musical. Eric is watching from America. I don't know what time it is over there at the moment, Eric. We've got a few people watching, so he must be up early. Actually, last time I spoke to you, you hadn't left for America yet.
No. I'm still trying to rid myself of the US kilos.
Oh, all that food.
So much amazing barbecue. And and to be honest, I wasn't even like I didn't go completely crazy. The first time I went crazy. Like I literally ate. The first time that I was there, I literally walked into a drugstore and bought one of every candy bar. That was the first day I was there. One of every single candy bar. There was actually, except for like they had, I don't know, like a Mars bar or a Snickers, and I was like, I've had a million of those. I don't
get that. Yeah.
But in hindsight, I probably should have because it might have been different.
Well, it could have been.
Macca's over there is really good.
Macca's and their drinks, their drink sizes, like our large.
And they're all. The thing I don't understand about, like, why would you buy one of those buckets? I guess if you're getting as a takeaway, you could get one of those really, really big drinks, but all of the drinks over there are refillable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not like here, it's like, you paid $3 for a premixed drink, and now we're going to charge you again if you want another one.
Yeah. And it's gone up because my weakness is McDonald's Diet Coke. That's my treat. I get that without ice, and I'm quite a big fan of them. I can't go to town and not get one. It's the law. I'm not allowed to leave town until there's one in my car. So I get those, but they've gone up another 10 cents. They're now $3.80, and I really am struggling to pay that. It's really awful.
It's like
to not get it. I know, it's a 50-cent cone. It's $1. I know, and you know when you go there, I still order a 50-cent cone, and they said, "Thank you, that'll be $1." No, that's not what I asked for.
You only want half. No, you know why they did the cones? Because all of that, people weren't having enough sundaes because the sundaes are $3 or whatever. So they needed to turn over the ice cream. So they did the 50-cent cone thing, and then they maybe 3 or 4 years ago they put them up to $2, and people stopped buying those as well.
I think they're only still $1 here. I don't know. It's been a while since I bought one down here. But it's not really warm enough.
Normally I'll buy, like, if I get, say, a McFlurry, Oreo McFlurry, I'll buy a cone because they're so tight with the ice cream, and I'll put the cone into the McFlurry so that there's enough ice cream.
Oh, nice. The things that we have to do just to survive McDonald's
right?
in Australia. Not on.
I know, right?
Well, we better let everyone go. What is Karen said? Oh, is it coming up?
70 cents. Oh, that's it. I'm coming at
70 cents here. Oh, 70 cents. There you go. I'm pretty sure they're $1 here. I don't know. I'm going to go and buy one now just to see. I'm in town tomorrow, so I might find out.
Knowing the Gold Coast, they're probably $4 here.
Yeah, I know the Gold Coast is so expensive. We spent a fair bit of money at Groundwater. I came back thinking I hadn't done too bad until I checked my bank account. Then I was,
Yeah, don't let yourself go to the ATM when you're drunk.
No. Order McDonald's on the way home, or the kebab shop, because you always spend so much money at the kebab shop on the way back to your hotel.
It's like when you gig in Tamworth. Like I find that that's the only time I really eat McDonald's is because it's the only thing that's open at 2:00 in the morning. So
with air conditioning.
The amount of times that I would, get to the end of the 10 days or whatever and go, I've literally had McDonald's 7 times this week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you would feel so sick by the time you get home. Oh, yeah, can't wait. Tamworth's going to be great this year. Cannot wait. Thanks, Shaz. I'll see you next time. She's saying good night. Night, Eric. Thank you so much, Brooke. I'm sorry we're taking your whole night and kept you away from sleep. But
no.
Nick says the moose gets you every time. It does. With the loose moose is always a good night. I look forward to that all year because I don't go out very much here. It's too cold. So the loose moose is my big night every year. And this year it didn't end until about 4 a.m. So
really,
we got home about 4 a.m. I think. Then I don't remember. It was a long night, and then the drive back to Brisbane, we so bad that songs that we both didn't like came on. I can't be bothered skipping it. just let it play.
Oh, we went at Uber or something.
No, we drove from Brisbane down to Gold Coast, but driving home the next day, we stayed a couple hours later because I caught the plane. Nick dropped me at the airport on the way home, so it was a long flight back. I think I'm pretty sure the person next to me heard how well I snore.
Well, my worst flight ever has been from Tasmania to Melbourne. So it's
Tassie to Melbourne.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I blame Nick Wolf for getting me absolutely high.
Yeah.
At the Longy. Yeah.
At the Longy. Oh, you have to come back. You haven't been down here for ages.
I know. I keep occasionally I'll message you and say, "Hey man, you got any gigs or what?" And he'll be like, "Oh, yeah, let me get back to you."
Yeah. Never happens. We'll have to arrange something else. They're never here. They're always working elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you again, Brooke. It's been a great night.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
it. I'm just impressed that you're on time.
I'm going to go cook some steak now. So
that sounds good. See you guys. See you next week. Oh, next week before we do go, I've got I think it's Jamie Myers, next week joining me, and he will be on at 10:30 on Monday morning. So you have to, if you're at work, watch after work. But he's coming from, I think he's going to be in Nashville next weekend. So next Monday, I don't know, he lives between Sweden and Nashville, 6 months in each or something. So very lucky. And he's coming to us from Nashville. So be 10:30 in the morning, my time, which is 9:30 your time.
In a little bar in the middle of Nashville, is that where he'll be?
I'm not sure where he'll be. So it would be very exciting. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later. I missed out half of. Hang on, it's not working.